What's up, knife people? It's Pocket Knife Collector, and today I'm looking at Cold Steel's Recon 1, which is available in several different configurations, really. I mean, first of all, we've got different blade profiles. There's the Tonto version, which you can either get with partial serrations or no serrations, just plain edge. There is the drop point. Again, you can... Well, actually, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a drop point with serrations, but my guess is it's probably an option, but I hesitate to say that with confidence. And the clip point version. And then, in addition to having different blade profiles, this knife has been made with different steels. The earlier editions had some simpler steels in the AUS series, Japanese steel. Then they were offered with CTS XHP. And then because Cold Steel was having some difficulty sourcing CTS XHP, they switched to S35VN. Right? So CTS XHP is from Carpenter Tool Steel. I would generally give it a little bit higher preference than S35VN. Qualities are a little different, but S35VN is a good particle metallurgy steel with good edge retention, decent toughness, and it is stainless. So for a large, hardworking knife, the Recon 1 has been a great option. It's nominally a 4-inch blade. That's really, it's only 4 inches if you measure from where the handle starts to curve away from the blade and you're back here in the ricasso. Then you're talking about a 4-inch knife, but if you measure from farthest point on the handle to the tip, it's a little less than that. It's more like 3 7/8. Not a big deal. Still, definitely a full-size pocket knife with plenty of real estate for a strong grip. Works in a reverse grip position as well. You can choke up, although there's not really a choil here. There's some ricasso area that you can safely put your finger on if you need to have a little bit more fine control over that blade. Pinch grip, you know, there are a lot of options. And the S35VN versions of these are available from some retailers at very reasonable prices. We're talking under $100 in some cases. The MagnaCut blade version of the Recon 1 comes at quite a premium. Those are like they're over $250 is the list price on that. I think it's like $270-ish, somewhere in there, which seems like an awfully big upcharge between Crucible's S35VN steel and Crucible's MagnaCut steel. Yes, MagnaCut offers improved toughness, and it has even better stainlessness, and it has great edge retention. It's a good steel. Everybody likes MagnaCut. But you can get MagnaCut on some affordable knives now. The steel itself is not extraordinarily expensive. So upcharging more than double to get MagnaCut seems a little weird to me. There's also a giant version of the Recon 1, the Recon 1 XL that's out now, which has a 5 1/4 inch blade. So if 4 inches doesn't ring your bell, I suppose you can upsize. The handle on all of those, even the MagnaCut 1 and the XL 1, is going to be G10. But as you can see, there are different textures on these different generations of Recon 1. This one with XHP steel, a little older than the S35VN ones, and it has more texture, more aggressive texture than the current production ones in S35VN. This is smoother. It doesn't matter a whole lot because with these finger grooves, you've got a very secure grip on the handle, and so the texture of the material itself doesn't play as big a role as it might with some other knives that have a more neutral handle shape. Now, it's always been possible to get a big cold steel knife that is fancier if that's what you want. If you want something fancy with a big cold steel American Tanto blade, how about the Hatamoto? Okay. Now, this doesn't have Andrew Demko's triad lock, which is what the lockup is on the Recon 1. This has a liner lock, but it's got an American style Tanto blade. It's 4 inches long. In this case, it's got carbon fiber handles. Cold Steel just calls this carbon fiber. I would call it shredded carbon fiber or marbled carbon fiber, because when you just say carbon fiber, I think the usual expectation is that it's going to be a carbon fiber weave. Right? That's the most common presentation of carbon fiber, like we're seeing in this Benchmade 940 Osborne. But if you get carbon fiber and you, instead of weaving it, you just kind of randomly place the bits of it together and then add resin to solidify it, they call that marbled carbon fiber, which is what we've got going on this ZT Sinkovich model 0470. Got a little insert of marbled carbon fiber. There's a different marbled carbon fiber from Kershaw on the blingy version of the Bel Air. And then there's this latest exclusive version of the Recon 1 from Midway USA, which doesn't just say that it has carbon fiber handles, it says specifically that it has fat carbon handles. So let's talk about that. Let's bust into this and check out this exclusive the pull tab didn't work. Good thing I have some knives available here to cut into this package. Okay. So this is the Recon 1 Fat Carbon Dark Matter, okay, with a 4-inch blade of CPM S35VN. Recon 1 Spear Point Fat Carbon Dark Matter. S for spear point, F for fat carbon, I suppose. Yeah. So when you get a Recon 1, it comes with an extra pocket clip, because the way the pocket clip curves means that it's not reversible. So if you want to switch from right side carry to left side carry, you need to actually put a different pocket clip on it. There we go. It's a little bit greasy. I'm going to pause the video for a second and clean that up, because I think it'll look better. And I'm back. I'm back with a less greasy pocket knife. All right, so this has fat carbon dark matter handles. Fat carbon is a brand name. It's a company based in Lithuania, and they have been around for a little while now. They were started in 2019, and they have been experimenting with ways to make carbon fiber look different and interesting, including adding color. So they've got lava flow and toxic green, and there's one called purple haze. There's a bunch of them. Dark matter is just the black, basically, version of their marbled carbon fiber. And it doesn't look quite the same as other marbled carbon fiber. It has its own look, but in terms of color, it's the same color. They haven't added an additional color. Here's the marbled carbon fiber from Kershaw, which has maybe less contrast and definition in it. Otherwise, it's like another Recon 1 that you would get with G10 handles, except that it's serialized. So these are made in Taiwan, S35VN steel. They're limiting this run to 600 units. So this is number 116. And if they sell real well, I would bet that you might see another run of 600, not of the drop point, but maybe of the clip point or the tanto point. So it might actually be the case that there are more than 600 Recon 1 knives out there with this handle material eventually. But there will only be 600 of the drop point version. I don't know if the microphone is picking that up. Somebody with a loud vehicle just drove by my house. Yeah, I like it. It looks good. It's got that same reflective coating. I think it's a tinny titanium nitride black coating on the blade. And this lock, the triad lock, is very well respected as a strong lock for a folding knife. And it may be slightly lighter than a G10 model. I'll get the scale out and we'll find out. Carbon fiber is light material, but most of the weight in this knife is the blade and the back spring. But let's see. Okay, so here is the drop point Recon 1 S35VN with G10 handles. It's coming in at 157 grams, which is 5.5 ounces. So not a lightweight knife at all, but not outrageously heavy. Just for giggles, let's also weigh. This is the same knife. It's the Recon 1 drop point, but this one has CTS XHP and a different texture of G10. It ought to be darn close to the same. Let's see. 5.25, which is 150. 158. Interesting. The S35VN model is 8 grams heavier than the CTS XHP model. Might just be sample variation too. All right. So now that we've got those as points of reference, here's the dark matter fat carbon handled Midway USA exclusive version of the Cold Steel Recon 1 at 137 grams. So it is lighter. Yeah, it's appreciably lighter at 4.75 ounces. So if you love the Recon 1 but wish it was a bit lighter, there you go. You got your carbon fiber version, your fat carbon version. And the neat thing about this is that it's not outrageously priced. It's a bit more than a basic G10 handle version of the Recon 1. I think they've got them on Midway USA right now for like $175 in that neighborhood. It is November 1st of 2025 at the time that I'm making this video, and these are still in stock. I got number 116, so I don't know how fast they're selling, but there are, you know, almost 500 people that ordered after me that can still get one. So maybe that'll be you. And Midway USA often has discount codes, and I found one that took another 20% off of this order. I don't know if that discount code is still valid or if it was just valid when I ordered it, but if you do a little browsing on the internet looking for discount codes for Midway USA, it might be worth the time. Let's just do one brief point of comparison here. So here is the Recon 1 compared with a Benchmade 943, which is the same blade length as the 940 Osborne, but different blade profile. And here is a Benchmade Bug Out. So yeah, it's a big knife. If you found this useful or interesting, please give me a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my channel, I'll keep showing you knives. That's the deal. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.